We're at the Methodist Church in Winter Park, and they're taking down a large oak tree that was in the playground that kids used, the children used, and my children and your children all came here. And so that tree has a big sentimental value to some of the people that were here. So we've taken pictures of that tree coming down today, and we're going to take some of the branches of that and make little acorns out of them.
Hey, my name's Steele Napoleon. I'm the owner of Napoleon Tree Service. We're here at First United Methodist Church of Winter Park today, doing some hazardous removals and some pruning.
This is the men cutting the limbs off the tree in the children's playground that we all remember. These limbs are lifted over to another area where there's a chipper that cuts these limbs down to nearly nothing. It's amazing how it works. At this point, we're cutting off the acorn logs that eventually we'll make the acorns out of and stacking them up. And this is now the playground area without the tree there. The acorn logs are now stacked in the back of my car, and we take them up to Highlands, North Carolina. Now I've actually cut the logs into usable pieces to work on the lathe. Here we have a log on the lathe, and we're taking off the bark of the log, getting it ready to make the acorn. Here they are all set up, ready to go for acorn making. As I make the acorn on the lathe, it actually is formed like a piece of artwork. The nut, which is what I'm working on now, is really developed in my mind. And I just visualize it and make it. And then I'm going to start making the cap portion of it. And that's what's happening now. And you can actually see the acorn coming into view. Taking off some of the wood above the cap, this is where we'll separate the acorn from the log later on. So we almost have that done. At this point too, we come back and put a burnishing wire that kind of separates the nut from the cap. And once that's done, we use a texturing tool to actually make the top cap kind of rough. And that's what we're doing here. And then we sand that down with wood shavings. And then we take the nut, part of it from the tailstock, sand it down, and then we stain this part of it as a darker color. The hand painting is now done on the cap, making it a beautiful gold color. Once again, we do a burnishing marking between the nut and the cap. And here we are taking the acorn rather, off the lathe. Little Happy Acorn is now finished and ready to hang on someone's tree as a remembrance of the tree that was in the children's playground.